Pricing and packaging is one of those areas that there are innovations coming out. You don't want to be necessarily afraid to use an innovation. You still want to think about like what is the core set framework that aligns to what people are used to, but there's still a lot of little innovations that you can do to kind of take you further. So the first one I'm going to talk about something we did at Slack. So we had what was called a fair billing policy. I did an entire separate video on it, but at a high level, what it was is that we said, hey, you're only going to get charged if you're actually using the product. Now, this was different, right? Like if you look at historical on-prem, that's not how it worked. When they sold on-prem software to enterprises, you would, get 6, 7, 8-figure deals, but it was not based on if people were using it. SaaS started to move in that direction, right? You started to see per seat billing, but a lot of times you would sign up, especially at the enterprise level, for a year or 2 year, whatever it was, and you had a fixed number of seats, regardless of those people use it or not. So when we started Slack, we said, hey, what if someone stops using it, we would give credits or refunds back to the company. What ended up happening was it created a ton of goodwill because you had these admins. A lot of times, our accounts, we were more of a see and grow motion. So you would start with a small usage, a pocket there. We had a policy, I think it was 10 or 14 days, where basically if you were inactive for 10 or 14 days, we would start giving credits and refunds back. We'd send a notice to the admin and be like, hey, Sally has not been using Slack for the last, 14 days. We're going to give you a prorated credit for, what you're being charged for that seat. A really cool thing about that is it aligned customers' value to our value. In other words, we had to make sure that, hey, if people aren't using the product, we're not getting paid, right? So, both of our goals were aligned.